Welcome to Sweet Life of the Designer, and we're going to be doing something a little different today, and that is doing a design review on some of my old Design Around the World videos. In particular, on this one, I want to focus on Amsterdam City. This is a video that came out in May of 2024, and what I love about Design Around the World is I get to show you guys lots of great things, but I usually don't have time to sit and analyze some of the design elements with you. So that's what I'm going to do in this video with you. Let's start by talking about the Hotel Nobleman, which is where we stayed the whole time. First of all, I want you to pay close attention to these light fixtures and then the quiet, very simple molding on either side of this hallway. This is me walking in, and the dark green color here. It's like an olivey color, so beautifully done. Minimalist elements, but still so incredibly good. The other thing I want you to check out here is the reception area. Notice the gorgeous teal blue, so they don't feel stuck on that green, and you'll notice lots of wood and lots of black elements as well, as you can see here on the door. So really quick, I really wanted to talk about this really fantastic gold plate that they had on all the doors. So every room was on a specific type of like someone who was famous in the Netherlands, and so I stayed in this particular room. I want you to pay attention to, first of all, interesting shape, right? So square with two round bulbs on the other side to create that interesting shape. They've used two edges there to make it really, really fantastic, right? Like, because it's got like a nice clean edge and you can kind of see it. I like that it's on gold. It shows up really beautifully on the black. The other thing that does really, really well is that it shows you how good like your typeface is right here, because it's all done in caps, and it's done actually with a double edged typeface. So like there's like two lines in there on the L, two lines on the O, and it goes all the way across. It actually gives it a lot of dimension. It has that engraved feeling, which you kind of want because it's like a gold plated piece right here, right? So it makes it really, really neat. The other thing that I like about it is just how intricate the outside piece is. You do get that great silhouette of the person right there in the middle, but because we've got this intricacy, it draws your eye in, sucks it right into the center of that silhouette, and then brings it down for you to read the font. So this is done so well. It's really clean. There's actually quite a few, I mean, there's like 4 elements here. We've got your lines. You've got the lines, the intricate ornamentation lines. You have the silhouette in the middle, and then you have the typography. And then, of course, you have the overall shape, but really done very, very, very well. Moving on to actually inside the bedroom, you can see really like dark black. They've got some cool elements here, like the TV came up, and then I just want to pause here to see like the copper tub, the interesting fireplace, the use of the mirror, the gray on the walls, black on the shutters, so that you get a little bit of contrast. I mean, it would be really hard if it was all black. Also pay attention to these light fixtures right here. Those guns, aren't those crazy? So I think they did a really nice job, because I think this was like I can't remember what these particular people did, but clearly something to do with hunting or guns. And so they created those little light pieces from each of those guns. What I really like is the attention to detail, like really small, tiny things that make it extra special. So even hiding away the TV so that you can't see it, and then check out like the camel on the back of the headrest, plus like the wooden steps in a lighter wood. So they've got some high contrast things that make all the pieces stand out. If it were all dark, like all of it was gray, all of it was black, it would be really hard to see how beautiful each of the elements really are. Okay, moving on. These copper tubs, I also just really quick want you to see behind this particular copper tub that I hopped into was in my friend Nikki's room, and she was in the Rembrandt room. And you'll notice behind me here, there are all these Rembrandt paintings that they've put on the diagonal, and they're not all square. They've got rectangular ones, and then they have these crazy like like thrown paint in the background. You can kind of see that right behind me, which is done so well because it makes it feel a little messy and cool, like and definitely painterly. So just the way they've put these, I wouldn't have never I wouldn't have thought to put them on the diagonal the way they did, because it makes me nervous more than anything, but they did such a nice job on this. And then with the copper, it just feels very vintage and very, very cool. Okay, I have to show you guys this element right here with the pennies. So these pennies were underneath a glass resin on the desk. And I just thought, I mean, like, way to take that copper theme all the way through. So they've got all these pennies under this resin on your desk. It made it so interesting and intricate. And then they did a really nice job on these books, because these books had like the camel leather, right? So it kind of matched all the bedding. And then they had these little stroop waffles that you could eat that they put in your room every day in a glass piece with like a black underneath piece. So you can see like just attention to detail, right? More black, more glass, feels very luxurious. The camel matches, and then the copper from the pennies, which is really, really good. Moving on, I want us to take a look at this restaurant called New Amsterdam and the Art Nouveau style of it. I think it's super fantastic. In particular, pay really close attention, and this is from video, so it's not a great shot, but notice the typography for the name of the place. All done in gold. Gold was really popular during that time period and that movement. And then just take a look at that W. The V in the W, instead it's on a diagonal instead of being a straight up W. And then how vertical all of those letters are. Notice how low the R's loop goes down, so you have a very short tail on that R. So it's like fatter at the bottom, but so it makes it feel very, very vertical. It's pretty cool, right? And then another element that you might miss is that nice long rounded oval. It's not a true oval because it's got a pull to it, but that's a shape you'll see very often in Art Nouveau. The other thing you'll notice if you take a look at the interior of this building, and this is a place we went to go eat, we had lunch in the back outside, is first of all how fantastic the colors are that they chose. This green with a subtle blue, it's a really interesting contrast. In fact, it's not a high contrast, which is really cool. All the gold detailing and the molding, and notice how everything feels very long and vertical. Even this woman in the painting feels very long and vertical, like her legs are very, very long. I love the contrast of the pink on this lady's dress, in contrast to all this green and kind of muted blues. I think it pops really, really nicely. And then kind of the flowiness of her dress is like kind of a little nod to that organic feel. Next, you need to take a look at these lamps. How incredible are these? I love the lines on the lamps. They could have easily gone a little more modern and not had those nice lines in there, but that little line detail gives it just like that extra little oomph. And notice that the light fixtures, instead of coming straight down from the walls, are these curved shapes that are coming off and over onto the benches and on the tables. It's really beautifully done. And they've mimicked that on the other side. You'll see they've got a different light fixture, but you still get that rounded feel. Art Nouveau really loved organic feeling pieces, and so this roundness versus like really modern straight strict feeling, which you'd see a little bit later in Bauhaus and some other movements, you get this nice feeling of softness that happens even in metal, which is really incredible. So really nice job on this. Like the overall feel of it is so good. It's like the mix of the colors, like that green organic feeling, plus like kind of like these punches of colors, like with the pink in the lady's dress, and then there's more of some turquoise blues in the background, and then you get these light fixtures that kind of roll in, which is really cool. By the way, this place had really great food. Before we move on to the next segment of looking at designs, I just want to remind you that I would love for you to subscribe to this channel. The more people we have on it, the more videos we get to make and the cooler content we get to make. So please subscribe. Just push that little button and subscribe, because that really helps us out so much. The other thing is that if you are interested in design, if you love the kind of stuff that I'm talking about today or in any of my other videos, check out one of two things. The first one is if you want to learn about Design Suite, you have to join a design bootcamp. You can find that at designsuitecourses.com/designbootcamp and come join us for our 5-day workshop. And the second one is if you want to get a degree, you can go check out the University of Arts and Design. That is at uad.education, and we do master's degrees and a design certificate. So go check that out. All right, one of the coolest things about Amsterdam is that if you look everywhere, there's a lot of great typography. In fact, one of the things I notice is it's a lot of sans serifs. So as you kind of are looking around, I'll have to like bend down a little bit so you can kind of see up here, but lots and lots of sans serifs everywhere, and they've all done it lots of different ways, so it still feels fresh every place that you go. Yes, there are serif fonts, but a lot of sans serifs, and so that's why it was really so fun when we walked into this bohemian restaurant and saw this big script font all done in this green, I guess like fake artificial leaves on the wall. And I want you to also check out all the amazing shapes created by the lamps here. So you get a really cool interplay. First of all, you get a script, so it's a little interesting. You get that 3D feel from the greenery, and then you get all of these interesting shapes from the lamps. It's really pretty darn cool. In fact, this place was really neat because other than the food being great, they really used a lot of organic material everywhere to make it look really good. So you'll see like these fantastic, like, I don't know that they were lamps, but just like plant holders with like all of these greeneries coming out of it, and everything was made of like these beautiful natural materials. You'll also notice these green chairs at the bar, really beautifully done, and then like this big bouquet of flowers in a big gold vase. So it just had this really eclectic feel to it, but it was just really natural feeling and very, very beautiful. You'll also notice they continued with all of these different planters and different shapes of the lamps all over the restaurant, which was really cool. So you'll notice that they had a sans serif at the front of their cafe as well. So lots of sans serifs everywhere, which is really fun. If you liked this video, let me know in the comments so we can make more of them for you. And then of course you can go watch any of my Design Around the World videos to see all the different kinds of designs in all the different places I am visiting. And I hope I get to see you soon. And as always, please subscribe to the channel because it helps us make more videos for you.